Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful evening with us on Live with Lloyd. I'm your host, astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn, on this Wednesday, the 9th day of July. I want to thank all of you for joining me this evening. I also want to thank my very special guests that I had on Monday from the UK, Vanessa and Corey Bent. I will be invited to the UK that weekend on the Saturday, the 23rd of August, which I look forward to. And I do want to thank them very, very much. So before I start this show, let me talk to you about my sponsors, which is, of course, King Simon, my buddy. We are now into part 2 of his The Anatomy of a Numerovation. And so for those that would like to participate, just go to his Patreon, which is www.patreon.com/King Simon. Also, Nicholas Brooklyn out at 1396 Fulton Street. They're having a very special event this coming Saturday. So be sure to either give them a call or reach out to them. But every time she gives an event, it's always absolutely amazing. Also to Queen Bee, one of my sponsors. And just go to BTV. She's also making available her charts, which is for $50. So it's on sale, all of it. All righty. So please take advantage of that. She's very detailed, very thorough, and you will likely to enjoy it. Also, Manifest on Purpose with Miss Kimberly. She does a podcast each week, Weekly Wisdom or Astronumerology Reveal. She's also making available to all potential business owners. You know, the Supreme Court has just said that the president can go ahead and fire more people. So more people in their survival will probably set up businesses. So if you're one of them, which I hope not, and you want to kind of get a good idea of how to set your business up astrologically and numerically speaking, like J.P. Morgan did back in his day, which is, although he died in 1913, the name J.P. Morgan still exists. I wonder why that is, but he consulted a very prominent astrologer. So for those of you who are interested in setting up a business, I'll go to Kimberly, Kimbaley, and the consultation is absolutely complimentary. Also, Uchenna's book will be out later this week, hopefully by Monday. He is going to make it available on Amazon. The first several days will be, you can get the ebook for 99 cents. So that should be very interesting. Let me see. Also, Jazz Aphrodite, who is forming a numerology mastery institute. And that's going to be in August. And she'll be my guest a week from today, in fact, talking about what she does. So anyway, what I forgot to do Monday was do the forecast, but I got it today, though. Today is July the 9th, all day long. The sun is in Cancer. Tomorrow will be a full moon. Although it's in Cancer now, it's going to be technically a full moon tomorrow in the day. It's a 7 universal month, a 9 universal week, also a 7-day. So for those of you under the signs of Pisces or Cancer, or those that are born on the 2nd, the 7th, the 11th, the 16th, the 20th, 25th, or 29th of the month, this should be an interesting day for you. Now what I'm going to do is this. There were a couple of people who reached out to me. I promised that I would read one guy and his children. I'm going to do that. There's a lady who made a donation, one of our regular viewers, about her son. I'm going to make sure I do that and acknowledge it. And then I also have another person who had just celebrated, I think on Monday, their 11th wedding anniversary. They've been together 16 years. Both of them are Aries. I can't wait to break that down. All right. But some people, however, have asked me in the meantime about the prediction that I did back in December of last year regarding all of the events taking place in each and every month with Miss Kimberly and I. And could I mention that? So what I'm going to do is bring that to the stage, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. And so I'm gonna let y'all hear that, and then I will go into the rest of the show. So let's see. Here it is. Okay. Now this is for the month of July. All righty. What I said then at that time, this was recorded back in, as I said, December of 2024. Now, what about July? First of all, Mercury goes retrograde from July 17th to August 11th. Let me get that straight. Now, what does that mean? Be careful of the things you say. And especially, see, this is the individual month, but the overall umbrella that covers the entire year is the 9. Impulsiveness, quick temperedness, things of that nature. So, what I'm saying is reflect first. Think before you open your mouth. You know what I'm saying? What they say, don't say nothing that your mouth can't cash or something like that. Well, that's the kind of energy is going to be in July, especially with Mercury being retrograde. That'll just only complicate the situation. Well, you know what I mean? No, I don't know what you mean. And by that time, you're split, you've had disagreements. And then when you ask, was it like the parking lot and the parking space incident, was it worth it? The answer was no, not at all. So you have to be very careful of what you do. And also the beauty of about July is it's going to be like not only reflection, but it's going to be the law of attraction, that what you're thinking you will attract. So if you're thinking poverty, that's what you will encounter. If you think success, that's what you will encounter. And because we'll be in a water period and it reflects that, and essentially we'll be in a 7 month, which deals with water, Cancer rules by water. There's a good technique that I heard not too long ago called the 2-cup water trick to help them put in 1 cup, write all the things that you've been wanting to resolve, but in a past tense, like you had it, and pour it into another cup as if that has been cured and whatnot. That's a wonderful technique. Maybe you can explain that later on one day to people, or they can go and see that. But this is what it is. And also, because it's the law of attraction, it means during July, don't chase after anything. Let it come to you. So again, it's what you're thinking. If you're walking around, I don't have no money, the source will make sure you just don't have it. Period. It's also a cycle of secrets revealed, that things have been hidden about the government, about individuals or politicians. All of that's going to come to light. A lot of things. It's going to be a hot summer. And I ain't talking about the temperature. Okay. I am talking about things that will come to the surface. You will have whistleblowers, things like that, that'll really start spilling the beans on a lot of things that people realize has really messed this country up over selfishness and greed, because that's all it is. And yet the world's saying, the 9 is saying, work in a humanitarian fashion, do that and you will do well. So I would expect the second week uh, to really be conflictual, so to speak, but it's the third week where you can kind of really start to question things and examine things. And by the way, since it is a month of reflection, begin to question yourself. Why am I doing what am I doing? Why am I dealing with this person? You could be happily with somebody and they could be sleeping in bed and you saying, why am I dealing with you? You ain't going to wake them up to discuss it. It's just that, but everybody's going to go through microscopic examination anyway. No one will be left out. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing about the stars. They do not discriminate. And the cities and states is going to be in the news. It's going to be Hollywood and Las Vegas and Seattle and Teaneck, New Jersey. Outside of that, Brazil and Madrid and Mexico and Mecca and New Delhi, for example. But if you are a Cancer or Pisces or born on the 2nd or the 7th, the 11th or the 16th, the 20th, the 25th or the 29th, you will be the recipient. Okay. Now, what about August? All right. For August,
Okay,
the
let
theme is
me
about
stop this here a
economics
second.
and real estate.
Okay,
Economics means, you know,
let's see.
it's about, again, about,
Okay, I think that's it. Let me just do one thing. I see something in the background. Okay, good. August, we'll find out about that. But I just thought it was very interesting.
about this month. And I talked about the second week. So, for the last couple of days, there's been something that has definitely hit the news about all of a sudden some files was there. And right now the files are not there. Okay. And it's causing, but again, this is, again, we did this back in December, about late December of last year, talking about each month ahead of what it is. And let me explain it this way too, before I really get into this and answer some of the questions too. That this year, this month of July is a 7. How did I arrive at it? Very simple. I took 2025, added it to the 7th calendar month. That came out to 34. Okay. And 3 plus 4 is, no, hold it. That's, if I'm doing that right. No, excuse me, that's 16. 25 plus 16 is 25 plus 7. Hold up. It's 9, because 2, every now and then I get a little off, but let me slow down. 2025 adds up to a 9. 9 added to the 7th calendar month, now I got it, adds up to 16. So 1 plus 6 is 7. So this is a month for all of us to kind of reflect, to take a moment to be quiet, to be still, to listen to that inner voice, that guide that we all have. If we just listen to it, to tune into our innermost feelings, and that whatever we want, instead of chasing after it, we magnetize it, because 7 is a magnetic number. And if you understand the principle of a magnet, if you put it close to the object will come to it. But if you turn the polarity of the magnet around and push it to the object will move away. So don't chase after what you want. So if it's love for some of you, relationships for some of you, material things, jobs, career, whatever the case is that you desire, it is best to see it on the mental screen of your mind, and like people who cut out a vision board. So let it be on the screen of your mind and just hold on to it. And as our elders in the South and the Caribbean would say, you then let go and then you let God. So that's how this particular month will be. All righty. So before I get to there, there's a couple of questions that people left. One was last week. In fact, this was what they said at the time. That they're, good evening, Brother Lloyd. They realized his birthday is May the 29th, and 2 of his sons' mother is October the 29th, and their sons are July the 11th and November the 10th. So when I look at that, here's what's interesting to me. Both the mom and dad are born on the 29th day of the month, okay? Not only that, if you notice, because 2 plus 9 is 11, the firstborn child is born on July the 11th, where the other one was born on November the 1st, okay? So if I had to describe the dad, his numbers are the 2, the 7, and the 5. If I had to describe his mate, her numbers are the 2, 7, and 6. As far as the first boy, the first son, his born July the 11th, his numbers are the 2, 7, and 6. So if a person would have asked me, who does this young man look like? The fact that his mother's numbers are the 2, 7, and 6, and the fact that his numbers, the son's numbers, is the 2, 7, and 6, nothing personal, but I say that boy looked just like his mama, okay, as they would say in the South. Now, as for the one this November the 1st, and this one is a standout, headstrong, very pioneering, and their numbers are the 1, 4, and 9, which are leadership numbers. So this person, this particular son of yours, should be encouraged or taught or trained toward leadership, independence, and self-reliance, and the ability to think for themselves. People, when you decide not to think, you've already made a decision. So if you, especially if any of you get number 1 children in your household, have them make decisions. So when they become adults, making decisions is not a challenge for them. And it's, right now they want people to not think. But I would say with you having a son that you do, that would be best, okay? Now, another person on Monday, they sent this, that today, me and my husband's anniversary, 11 years married and 16 years together. She is April the 3rd of 89, and he is April the 9th. Now, let me explain it this way too. She's a fire sign with a fire number. Well, your husband is a fire sign with a fire number. All right. So that's a whole lot of fire up in the house. So I know that when y'all are something else, and here's what's interesting. Your key numbers are the 3, 9, and 6. His numbers are the 9, 6, and 3. So y'all both have the same numbers in a different sequence. So let's say he wanted to get your attention. Well, Tuesday is his best day to approach you. Let's say you want to get his attention. Then Thursday is your best day, because your best days are Thursday, Tuesday, and Fridays, where his is Tuesday, Tuesday, Friday, and Thursday. So these are the days that you'll have. I imagine based upon that, you'll probably went out on their first date around about a Tuesday or Thursday or Friday. And both of you have your months, the same 6 months, which is March, April, May, October, November, December. So those are the common months which you may have met, got engaged, this, that, and the other. But I can tell you this, I am looking at a couple with strong personalities. When you two are together, y'all are fearless, okay? And when y'all are having a bad moment, I'd love to be a fly on the wall to figure out what that's about. Your birthday suggests on April the 3rd. You, young lady, is very talkative, expressive. And your husband, bless his soul, April 9th, think he's the greatest thing since ice cream, or you name it, all right? But the point is this, that astrologically, 2025 favors Aries. So that's for the both of you. And it favors number 9. So it was slightly edged more towards your husband. So you give him the push that he needs. He don't need it anyway, because 9s are very warrior-like. They're very independent, self-reliant, very bold, very daring. That's the 9 energy. So, but nonetheless, I think that is great. I'm going to be taking calls in just a minute. Now, this is the last one. This is the one that I did not see on Monday. This is Anna. She is one of our regular persons, and she had made a donation that I didn't realize until after the show, and she wanted to talk about her son, David. Okay, if you look at David's birthday is born October the 9th, 1999. Take a look closely at that birthday, October the 9th, 1999. Now, what would I say to Anna? I would tell her this. There's a whole lot of 9s up in your son's birthday. 1 is a leadership number. No, he's born in the 10th month. Okay? He's born on the 9th day, and he's got 1999. So out of 2, 4, 6, 8, 7 of those numbers are 1s and 9s. Take a look again. If I'm not mistaken, 8 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, 6. 6 out of 8. 6 out of 8. So I would tell you this, Anna, whoever your son is, anything less than teaching him to be leadership, you would not do him justice. More than likely, he's going to have an affair with an older woman, which is none of my business. He'll probably be out on his own between his 19th and 22nd birthday, because he is 1999. So he's kind of like in whatever that age is, but he's definitely past 21. So if he's out on his own right now, or been for the last couple of years, that would make sense to me. But everything points to your young man about leadership. And since this is the year of the 9, and he is born on the 9, this would be what is called in astrological terms a very auspicious year for him to make ground. And not only that, with him being in a 1 personal year too, which is a cycle of new beginnings and new directions and new opportunities and things like that. Your son just may step out on faith. I can tell you this, he doesn't take orders well. And if he's had leanings toward, like as a child or a young adult, going into occupations or careers where uniforms are worn, like the military or law enforcement or construction or fire or being a mechanic or engineer or things of that nature, that would make all the sense in the world. And with all those 9s, it tells me without question, your son would tend to be more accident prone than illness prone. But I do want to say thank you very much for the donation. And what I think is interesting, if you look at the donation, she donated $19.99, and her son is born on 10/9/1999. I don't know whether you did that by on purpose or just intuitively. That's how it works, Anna. But thank you so much. So as you see, what I try to do, only because I'll get so many responses, I can't try to read everybody, although I'm going to try to do my best today, because my guest that was due got stuck in traffic, so I've moved him to Monday. His name is Cameron, and you'll see what that's about. I'll make sure that I have that for you, but he'll be on with us Monday. Nonetheless, though, any questions you have? Now, I don't know everything. I know quite a bit about what I do as in numerology, but there are things that, listen, nobody knows everything, okay? No one. Even AI don't know everything, although it's pretty good. AI don't know everything. All righty. So anyway, let me say this. Please like, share, and subscribe, okay? If y'all can do that, that would be greatly appreciated. Empress Rel, the one thing she does is she always promotes all of our sponsors, which I thank her from the bottom of my heart. She is a terrific person. This is, let me see. Okay, I thought I saw Goldie Lee. And this is Eartha. Hi, Eartha. Okay. Now, this is Goldie Lee. She says, Hopozo, with the retrograde coming up on my birthday, what to expect? Well, Mercury retrograde actually starts one day before your birthday. It technically starts on the 17th of July and will be Mercury retrograde until August the 11th. All right. So since Mercury, well, first of all, you don't have to do as much now. If you're a Gemini or Virgo or number fives, those are the ones that's going to have to really keep their eyes and ears open, because Mercury rules the sign of Gemini, Mercury rules the sign of Virgo, or anyone born on the 5th, the 14th, or the 23rd of the month. As in your case, as all of us, regardless to greater or lesser degrees, all of us have to mind what we say, how we say it, and we have to think before we. Now, if a person is impulsive, if a person is irrational, and you say something that your mouth can't cash, you're going to have a problem. All right. So it also means when Mercury's retrograde, and it's the planet of communication. So there's miscommunications, misunderstandings, missteps, mishaps, misadventures, all those kind of things. So it simply means be a little mindful. Anything electronic goes on the blink. Cars act up, phones act up, computers act up. Anything, the electricity, the internet, all those things will be happening. But it's only for 3 weeks. But right now we're in the shadow effect. That actually we're in the shadow. It reaches its crescendo in July the 17th. But right now you can start feeling it. Like some of the mistakes I made earlier starting the show, like 2025 ain't no, I added up the numbers all wrong. But it's not to use it as an excuse. But I know that this is the time when we tend to kind of maybe say something we really don't mean. So don't assume like, well, we meet at 3. No, you said meet me at 4. And let's say those of you who are going to appointments, leave early. I'd rather you get there early, even though on an average day you get there within 10 or 15 minutes tops, a half hour, whatever your time schedule is. Leave a little early. I'd rather, like with my guest today, he's stuck in traffic. Okay, that was not the way he planned it. That is not the way we communicate today. So it doesn't surprise me per se. And I just said, listen, we'll do it another day. Monday's the day to do it. And so it's those kind of things. So I'd rather you get there early and catch your breath as against there late in a sweat and build up all this anxiety when you need to be cool, calm, and collected. All righty. So that's it. So don't assume, don't take anything for granted. And so that's what people can expect. The one advantage that I've learned from astrologer Khalil Washington, and with Mercury's retrograde, that seems to be one of the best times to find something that you've lost around the house, a piece of jewelry, or whatever the case is. You practically step on it. It'll probably be standing in your face like, where you been? I've been waiting for you to find me, okay? Taking you a long time. So it's those kind of things. So for those that are Geminis, those that are Virgos, those that are born on the 5th, the 14th, or the 23rd, you signs and birthdays have to be more attentive more than most. As for the rest of us, we all have to do this and be careful what you say, how you say it, and think. This will not be a time for impulsiveness. I can tell you this. And then we're in a 9 universal year too, which rules impulse and things of that action. This would be the month to kind of take it easy. And whatever you want, you just simply sit in your mind's eye and don't chase. I was told one time, if you're running after it, it's because it's trying to get away from you. So don't do it. Think in terms of what a 7 is. It's a magnetic symbol, okay? And in this case, you would be you're in a 5 personal year, because you're in a 7 personal year, you're in a 7 months, so 7 plus 7 is 5. So this is a turning point for you, Goldie Lee, to turn your life around, okay? Okay. What you call this book will be out, Eartha. I talked to him this morning. It's just a couple of hurdles he has to do to get it on Amazon. As soon as it's ready, I will let you know. All righty. And so this is peace, everybody. I shade for everybody. I do thank it, especially Melanated Brown. Actually, all of you. Oh, and please, can you hit the like buttons? I'm beginning to find out that seems to help with the algorithms or whatever the case is. So, and don't forget, it is absolutely free. I have never got on here, not one time, and asked you to donate money. And this month will make 3 years I've had Live with Lloyd. Seriously. I mean, for those who want to donate, like Anna did last week or earlier this week, that's beautiful. Okay. But I will never, ever do this show and says, like, y'all need to send me some money up in here, because this does a lot, and I need a new computer, and I need, what I'm saying? We go into all this stuff. That's not how I roll. If for those of you, and by the way, there's some that gets a little sensitive if they make a donation and I don't get to them. So for those of you with Mercury retrograde and you into your feelings, and I'm going to make a donation, he didn't call on me, do this instead. If I happen to call on you and you wish to make a donation, then do so. Okay? So I can't say we didn't have this conversation, because I don't want to hear, oh, you took my money. Because if I'm going to take some money, it ain't going to be for a couple of bucks. You best believe it. Okay? I don't roll like that. But what I'm saying is this. I do understand, only because you don't understand how many comments I get. And I can't go through all of them. But I'm just saying, okay, so we can keep it moving. Okay. Hi, Katrina. Good evening. Strawberry, everybody. Okay. Numerologics. Thank you, Pamela. These are all nice. I thank you very, very much, because you could be doing something with your time. And especially to Stephen Williams, his birthday came up in some reading on Monday, and to his wife, Carolyn. So I thanked him very much. So let's see if I can get a couple of birthdays up in here. And Teresa says, the brightest greeting, peace, light, and love. I thank you very much for that. Okay. And please, all you got to do is listen to Stephen. Just hit the like button. I don't understand. Maybe we've been too much into let me, give me, can you spare? Is it free? Well, this is free. Okay. Again, I'm not asking you to donate no money. That if you hit the like button, you're going to get cha-ching. Please. So help a brother out. Follow her directions. My Empress Rail, just hit the like button, please. Thank you. Oracle T. All the. Now I have here Mariah Harris. Thank you so much for the donation. 515, been worried about a negative situation that includes a number 3 person of Cancer and a number 9 person of Scorpio. Let me see. It says, I've been seeing 222, 333, 444, 5, all triples, and 515. When I think about it, and what about the number 3 meaning sacrifice? Okay. Let me say this. First of all, you would be a Taurus 6 person. Your key numbers are the 6, the 3, and the 9. What I thought was so interesting, you've been seeing 222. Well, that's adds up to a 6. You've been seeing 333. That adds up to a 9. You've been seeing 444. That adds up to a 12. And 1 plus 2 is 3. And you've been seeing 555. That adds to 15. And 1 plus 5 is 6. And your own birthday. So what it tells me is this. There's something happening around relationships and your career. Okay? It also is affecting either someone who is a Taurus or Libra, Pisces or Sagittarius, or born on the 3rd, the 6th, the 12th, the 15th, the 21st, the 24th, or the 30th of the month. It also indicates subconsciously there may be a desire to maybe mend fences or break up or get some space to yourself. It also indicates, too, since the 3 is prominent, that there may be a desire to do something with your career subconsciously. And so if the question was of a yes or no nature, it means no is the answer to the question about the number 6 aspect about career and relationships. But yes is the answer to the number 3 if it's about career or things of that nature, all right? Like, should you go on an interview or whatever the case is. Now, when you say a negative situation, who's a Cancer, it all depends. So that person could either be born June the 30th, July the 3rd, July the 12th. But since you mentioned the word sacrifice, I suspect the person might be born July the 12th, because the 12th card in the tarot deck is called the Hangman. It's a person who becomes the victim or the sacrifice, which is a word you use for the plans and intrigues of others. So maybe this person has been used against you or used, whatever the case is. I have no idea. And of course, we have this nature. But I would say right now, this year, you happen to be in an 11 personal year, which is a year to elevate your mind, to begin to work out all the details, to pay more attention to your dietary laws and things like that. And also to mend some fences too. So whatever it is, and since the 3 rules to the negative, scandals, gossips, and everything like that, don't get caught up in the nobody's drama. Girl, did you hear what he said? I ain't heard nothing, okay? And especially with Mercury being retrograde coming up in a few days, and we're in the shadow effect now, I would not get caught up into none of that. That would just be my advice. But your key numbers are always the 6, the 3, and the 9. And I thank you for that, okay? 62 people in the chat and only 32. So that means there are 30 of you who are looking at this and then push. I wish I knew where to, I wish I could press the chat button for you so you don't have to go through that. But please, Dushi says, please hit that button. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Now, Chris, you said you wanted an update, buddy, but you didn't give me your birthday. Now, maybe you're giving it to me later on. And Fox Sinatra, I read him about his family. He's born May the 29th. So I hope that makes sense. And I'm willing to bet you it's your firstborn that looks more like his mother than you. He's got your numbers, of course, because your numbers are the 2 and the 7. His numbers are the 2 and the 7. But he's got all 3 of his mother's numbers in the exact same order. So there are times you might get upset and say, boy, you just like your mama. I'm sure you're not going to say that around him, around her, but you know, you might say that from time to time. Okay. All righty. Awesome to see a lot of people in the chat. That would be nice, but it's nicer if you hit the like button, please. So people are saying hit the like button. Okay, let's do this. Let's see. Okay. My sister, this is, got to be honest, all of y'all are my favorite. I know you be saying, Lloyd got all these favorites. Yeah, all of you are, because y'all could be doing something else with your time. Okay, and this is Lacey. Her birthday is January 17th. So here's what this tells me about you, young lady. First of all, you are an earth sign with an earth number. So that means whoever's dealing with you got to keep it real. They got to be upfront. There can't be a lot of fakery, because you ain't going with that. Earth people are very pragmatic. They got to use some common sense up in here. Not only that, then she's an earth number 2. Okay. This is the same birthday as the former boxing legend Muhammad Ali. If you've ever listened to his interviews, he always used some common sense. That's the only way they know how to do it. So it tells me you've always been very mature, very independent, self-reliant, out on your own between your 19th and 22nd birthday, have a knack for business or enterprising, and especially if any of your planets is in the 10th house. So if you're born anywhere between 10 and 12 in the afternoon, leading into the afternoon, 12 noon, your sun is sitting in the 10th house, and it's sitting in Capricorn, whether it's your Scorpio, whether your ascendant, or other major planet. And so that means you have business acumen, and you happen to be in a 9 personal year, which is a year for you to manifest and do some of the things you want to do. Your key numbers are always the 8, the 6, and the 3, and your best days are always on a Saturday, a Friday, and a Thursday. Yes, the calendar says Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but your cosmic calendar, if you download my app, a star 8, you'll see that Saturday's first, Friday's second, Thursday's third. Anyway, and by the way, as a Capricorn, this time of the year is at the lowest point. You know, each of the zodiac signs have what is called an opposition period where they're at a low. So all Capricorns, not just you, Lacey, but all Capricorns, this is not your strongest time of the year under the period of Cancer. All righty. And then with Cancer going retrograde in a matter of days, about sometime next week, it would behoove all Capricorns to kind of take it easy, don't get carried away, act in accordance. But Capricorns are normally very conservative anyway, and they normally like to think before they do or say things. But if you got those impulsive Capricorns out there in the viewership, y'all need to watch yourselves, like Capricorn 9s, like December 27th, January the 9th, January the 18th. You'll need to be a little bit more mindful, especially for the month of July. All righty? So that's you. All the best. Okay. Now, Katrina says, what zodiac sign would be a grand love relationship for me? Well, I don't quite remember your birthday, Katrina, because I got so many, but if you put it again, I'll answer that when the time comes. Okay. And please follow the directions, because I've told people that if they keep putting their name in, I do understand it, then to block it. And it's only so other people can get in. All right. Okay. Now, DS, Dizante, I know I'm saying his name wrong, but anyway, DS, he's November the 6th. He says, what do you think of Virgos and Scorpios together? Well, Virgo is earth, Scorpio is water. So there are elements that go together naturally in this planet. For example, earth, Virgo, think of it, rich soil. Now you put the seeds in the soil, and then those seeds can stay there for weeks, months, years, until you magically come along and water it. So I would say earth and water are more of a nurturing kind of couple. If you look at fire and air, they will tell you if there's a fire, you make sure doors are closed, windows are closed, so air doesn't spread. So they make for passion. All right. So that is the thing. So I would say, other than that, it would do well. In your case, you are a water sign, my friend, with an earth number. So although you gave me a Virgo and Scorpio, you're a Scorpio, which is water, and you're born under earth number. So it tells me you're a nurturing kind of guy. Okay. All right. Projector's pathway. My daughter is 322, 323, 2020, and myself is 3524. Insight. Yes. As for your daughter, both y'all are born in the 5th month. Would you somewhat like Minister Malcolm X and his wife, Dr. Betty Shabazz? He was born on May 19th in the sign of Taurus, like you, and his wife was born on May 28th in the sign of Gemini, like your daughter. So it does tell me one thing: both you and your daughter walked before you were 1 year old. So if you got living relatives, and they say, girl, you was walking about 9, 10 months old, okay, you'll find that your daughter was probably walking about 9 or 10 months old. But here's the fact: although y'all are different zodiac signs, y'all got the same date of birth, which is a 5. You're born on the 14th. She's born on the 23rd. So that means I would say okay, let me put it like this. Your key numbers, mommy, are the 5, 6, and 9. Her numbers are the 5, 6, and 9. So I say your daughter looks just like you, okay? And so if sometimes there's a frustration, but don't forget, you were once young yourself like your daughter. You probably took your mother through some drama, just like your daughter will probably do. Not that she means to do it, but the one thing when you listen to parents and the elders, they got wisdom that when we think we know everything. And when I was young, my mother told me, don't you worry, you'll get your turn. Come on. Come on. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, I'm trying to figure out how come I didn't get it. Okay. But I was young. I thought I knew everything. And when I had my kids, I understood. I really, really understood. This is why youth and wisdom don't go together. So if your daughter, because she is just 5 years old, and as she matures, and it's interesting, she's 5 years old. She's born on the 23rd and in the 5th month. So that tells me there are going to be some changes that you two are going to be making. And both y'all are in the same personal year. You're in a one personal year, mommy, which means you're going to want to do something new. And that affects, of course, your daughter. And whether it's a new location, a new environment, a new experience, or things like that, you'll find that Leos and Aquarians and Aries will be of help to you, or anybody born on the 1st, the 4th, the 10th, the 19th, and the 22nd, or the 28th, or the 31st of the month. Your daughter will always know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. That's how she's going to get married, by the way. And you like your space. So I'd say the way to hold on to you is to let you breathe, okay? Don't be sweating us all the time. Okay, anyway, that's just my opinion. Alrighty. I got to be honest. If truth be told, I love doing this because I have issues. I'm kind of like nosy, kind of like to know what's going on. Not in everybody's business because I have enough trying to keep up with my own business. But anyway, this is Bramptonite. They're from Canada, born on Friday, September the 7th, 56. Anything they need to be aware of over the next couple of months? Yes. Well, first of all, you happen to be in a 7 personal year. 7 is one of those numbers where you go within. Normally in a 7 personal year, such as you, and I took the month you were born, 9, the day you were born, the 7, but instead of the year, I substitute the year, and in its place, I put 2025. So 9 plus 7 plus 2025 adds up to a 7 personal year. 7 is when you kind of want to go it alone. You don't want to be with anybody too much. You kind of want to what they call be to yourself. It's when people get into meditation and prayer. It's when people rediscover God again. They become born again Christians, or they go back to church, or they want to give readings. But there's something that goes beyond the 5 physical senses. That's why 7 is very spiritual. And it also means, and because of the fact that you were born on the 7th, makes it even more auspicious, okay? So if I deal with the 7th month, because first of all, your key numbers are always the 7, 2, and 5. So it means your best days are always in May, June, July, September, and October. So now that we're in July, which is the 7th month, and it's a 7 person month, that means this is a month of change for you. I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't have plans to travel the week of the 8th through the 14th. Also, especially the week of the 22nd to the end of the month. So it'll be probably either that last Tuesday or somewhere around the 27th, give or take a day or two, that you'll probably want to travel somewhere. Maybe somebody will travel to you. But the rule of thumb for you, since you're in a 7 personal year and we're in a 7 universal month for July, is please don't chase after what you want. Just simply reflect and think about it and be it in earnest. So if you're thinking negative, that's what will be drawn to you. But if you think of positive, that will come to you in equal measure too. So thoughts are things, okay? And there've been a lot of experiments of you talking the water, whatever thought you put in the water, that's what comes back to you. So think like that. And plus you're a water number and you're in a water period and a water sign. So again, your key numbers are the 7, 2, and 5, and Mondays followed by Wednesdays are always your best days, okay? So I hope you're all the best too, okay? This is Sun Goddess, who is 3-3. So you happen to be in a 6 personal year, Sun Goddess. It's the romance and finance cycle. It's interesting. 6s and 8s are similar. With a 6 that you're in, it rules romance and finance. 2 years from now, when it's in the 8, you'll be finance then romance, okay? So right now, since you're in a romance cycle, it could be anything dealing with relationships, makeups, breakups, all kinds of things. Normally, I notice when a woman enters a sixth cycle, there's a couple of things she do. One of them is change her hair. So if around late September, October, or at some point this particular year, you decided to kind of redo your hair, restyle it, refashion it, that makes all the sense in the world to me. It also indicates that this would be a good time to get involved in a weight loss or exercise program, to go to school or get some educational experience under your belt, whether it's online or going into a place of education or whatever the case is. And this is a good time to bask in the sun. The best recommendation for all sixes are going through a sixth cycle is sunlight, fresh air, and some walking, as against walking to the car to the mall, walking from the mall to the car, back to the home. So just make sure you breathe in the sunlight. It also tells me you don't look your age, which is why you'll attract younger men and men from different cultures too. Be sweating a sister too. And you're an organic flirt. It's not brazen, it's just kind of natural. And it does suggest you wear very little makeup too. Okay. Okay. Now, Kennedy Palmer says, what does it mean if you were born on 6/6 and my year is 2001? Well, first of all, it tells me you would have a 4 destiny. That is, if I took it 6/6, okay, that would be 12, 13. Yeah, you'll be in a 4 personal year. That simply means, okay, in numerology, there are terms that we use: destiny, life path, birth path numbers. The way I explain it to a novice or person who is not familiar with the lingo or customs assigned to numerology, the month, the day, and the year says symbolically you are in the 4th grade in the school of life. That's what that means. Because we all know about the school of life. Why we here, what we here to learn. Well, yours is to have a very odd and unusual life, somewhat unpredictable, somewhat definitely eventful, for no question about that. There will be extremes where you may have a whole lot of money one time and almost no money the next time. But it means about laying the foundation to things that are very important. Born in the 6th month and the 6th day, you are an air sign with an earth number, which means you're very pragmatic. That means you're very grounded in your own way. And 6s know how to spend some money. I jokingly say about 6 women, or is this Kennedy? So Kennedy, that's probably, I'm assuming it's a name. Um, some names are kind of like for mixed genders. But if you're a woman, Kennedy, it tells me you can be so stingy you squeeze the brown off the penny. But if you're a man, it tells me you're very forceful, very personable, very dynamic in your own way. It can be very stubborn too. But regardless of the year you're born in, your key numbers are the 6, 5, and 9. And your best days are always on a Friday, a Wednesday, and a Tuesday. Okay. All right. Okay. Numerologic says, of course, they have a huge presentation on May 17th. That is the exact day that Mercury goes retrograde. Well, listen, you have no control over it. You do the best you can. Okay. And I will say this, that I tell people: if you're going in an interview, if you think you're not going to get it, don't go. The person that's on the other side interviewing, you can almost sense that I hear what they're saying, but this person really don't want this job. So whatever it is, just go with that kind of attitude. All righty. And on that day, I'm looking at the fact it'll be a 6th day. So that deals with anything dealing with institutional work, education, things of that nature. Okay, well, I'll say this. I wish you all the best. At any rate, 76 people are up in here and at least 55. So we short 16 people. So if y'all can, no, we short 26 people. So if y'all can do that and make my Empress Rel happy, I would appreciate that so, so much. Okay. And Go Lily, thank you. I appreciate you as well, dear. And to you, Eartha, thank you. Actually, I thank all of you. Thank you. Know how to make a man feel good. Sun Goddess, you are worth every cent. Thank you. Okay. All right, let's see something. Yep. 3 years I've had this show. It doesn't seem like it. And I had a lady on last Monday, and she was the one when I was visiting her in Philadelphia. She's the one that does all my flyers. So when you see my images on the screen, on the newsletters, she came to New York with a prominent photographer and did a photo shoot with me. I got a lot of images, but these are the ones that are used. And she was the one when I was at her home that set me down, put a mic in front of my face, and just had me do so. I didn't know what the woman was doing. Okay. I said, okay. I ain't gonna give Jackie no hard way to go. She's got one of those kind of personalities. And little did I know, and I did make an oath to her. I says, well, when I go back to New York, I will put a kind of a outline of it, of a show that I would do. And that outline came live with Lloyd, and it was aired on July the 14th, 3 years ago, as of this month. So I thank her very, very much. Yes, it doesn't seem like that, and it's very nice. And I mean, I've had such nice people, and I thank all of y'all very much. Now, she says there are 82 people. She needs 10 more, so at least some of y'all are getting to it. Help a brother out, okay? Now, I ain't asked y'all to send me no money. I'm just saying help a brother out, so I ain't got to hear from Empress like, Lloyd, you got these, but I don't know why these people, I don't want to discuss that with her. Y'all just press the like button. It's free, please. Okay. Thank you. Honey, anyway, let's do this. Okay. Darius, yes. Ashe, more blessings, everybody. We all need some blessings up in here. Okay. This is it. Okay. This is Ron Cowrie. I feel big changes coming. My birthday is May. Okay. Your birthday was back in May. So, what's interesting is this. When I took the month and day you were born and added it to 2025, you happen to be in an 8 personal year. 8 is always the number in the cycle denoting money, power, authority, births, pregnancies, marriage, separations, divorce, moving in a home. So yes, I'd say this is a very big year. And in fact, when I add your 8 personal year to July, the 6th month, you happen to be in a 6 personal month. So this is definitely a relationship month. This is definitely a pregnancy month. I love to say that sometimes because some women can't spell pregnant like some men can't spell commitments, okay? But the point is that numbers speak in symbolic terms, that you don't have to get pregnant, but you may give birth to an idea, birth to a plan, birth to a project or an enterprise. You see what I'm saying? It's like when you go to get your blood pressure, those numbers will tell symbolically whether your pressure is normal, below normal, above normal. It's just symbolic. So, and it not only that, it may not be you, but you may find somebody around you is pregnant, or girl, you are going to be a godmother, whatever the case is. But this is going to be a good year for you. I wish you nothing but the best. You should aim high, you should think big, and take no prisoners and no wooden nickels. I'm telling you, this is your year. It's going to be, here's what I do too. When I tell people about the year, I've learned how to go back in the past. 2025 for you, Carrie, is just going to be like it was back in 2016 and 2007. Why do I say that? Well, 2007 was the year of the 9. 2016 was the year of the 9. So what's the difference? Older, wiser, maturer, more experienced. So if you can remember the last 9-year cycle, which was back in 2016 when you were in an 8 personal year, maybe you were pregnant. Maybe you did get married. Maybe you got divorced. Maybe you moved into a home. Maybe you moved out of a home. Maybe you come of age, because the 8 cycle always makes you grow up. It's an ancestral cycle. It makes you reconnect, and you want to reconnect with the elders, the grandparents, and things of that nature. So anyway, Capricorns will help you. Aquarians will help you. Libras, and those that are born on the 8th, the 17th, or the 26th of the month. I thank you very much, Teresa. So generous and kind, all of us. Yes. We are. And I have to thank my parents. I had wonderful parents that told me don't act like a knucklehead. And I had enough spankings to prove it. Okay. I mean, I wasn't bad. I was just kind of all over the place. Okay. Anyway. Now, see what Fox says? He does look more like his mother. Why? Because his mother is born October the 29th. Her numbers are the 2, 7, and 6. Well, his son is born July the 11th. His numbers are the 2, the 7, and the 6. That's the only conclusion I can see. That's the beauty of numerology. All you got to do is exercise some common sense up in there. And in fact, I've never seen that expressed in a book. I can tell who likes like who. You know what I'm saying? You know how they be talking about mothers, baby, fathers, maybe? Well, I can tell who will favor the mother or the father. And to be honest with you, Fox, your key numbers are the 2 and the 7 and the 5, and 5s and 6s are just like that. So I would say that in his growing up, one time he was looking more like you, but definitely at this point, he's looking more like his mom. Okay, if that makes sense. All righty. And thanks for that confirmation. Thank you. This is simply Kimmy, who was born on August 15th. You are a Leo 6 person, which means you're a fire sign with an earth number, which means passion. You're born at 11:11 a.m. So that means your sun is sitting in the 10th house, the house of career. And so since 15 denotes money, gifts, and favors of mothers, you do well in real estate, you do well in banking, you do well in law, you do well in the social services, you do well as a counselor, a nurse, a teacher, whatever. So actually, you would have probably done well in the arts too, because it's interesting. You're born in 1977, which adds up to 24, which is a 6. So it tells me one of your parents could have either been a Taurus or Libra. And since you were conceived, let's see, August, September, October, November, since you were conceived in November of 1975, which is the year of the 5, that tells me when your parents could also have been a Gemini or Virgo as well, as born on the 5th, 14th, or 23rd. All these are the things I taught myself. It's just interesting. So nonetheless, this year you happen to be in a 5 personal year. How did I do that? I took the month and day you were born, added to the year in question now, not the year you were born, but the year in question now, 2025, and it adds up to a 5 personal year. So think of 1 and 9 right here. So think you're at the midway point. So this is why I call the 5 the pivotal cyclist. It's where you kind of pivot to the left, pivot to the right, or you back up and go down the road and come off the next exit. But the point is, you're hankering for a change of some kind. So if you got some person that's been doing the same old, and you are desirous of a change or whatever the case is, that would make all the sense in the world. All righty. Okay. Your key numbers, by the way, are the 6, 2, and 7, and Mondays and Fridays are your best days. Yes. And she said, yes, absolutely. This is the one that's born January the 17th. She keeps it real. And she's a realtor too. I said she do well in real estate, banking, law. See, I love this stuff. People think I read them. No, I read the numbers. That's the key. That's the secret for me. And so it does sound like, I am reading their numbers. But anyway, and this is Letitia Ramos. She says she's born on January the 17th in 71. She says her business is severing. I don't know what she means by that word, but I'll tell you this, as I explained to Lacey, that for all Capricorns, this time of the year, late June into July, is always their dip in the road. Okay, they're bumping the road. Call it what you will. So if things seem to be a little bit off key, Letitia, that might explain some of it. Okay. Now this is waking up to Monique. Okay. Okay, waking up to Monique. I appreciate it, but you didn't give me no birthday. And if it is, because I'm looking at the time, I'm going to spill over just a little bit more. If I'm looking at the time, and Lacey says she strategized before she acts. Yeah, that's the nature of Earth. Let me tell you this. You know how you got those action movies where a guy just run and jump out the window? Earth sign people don't do that. Earth number people don't do that. They're going to look before they leave, okay? They're going to say, no, I need another window because this is not happening, too much concrete underneath there. So this is why I jokingly say, everybody's got their energy. Everybody's got their way of how they move. And once you understand that, it's very important. Okay. If, for example, you don't give me your birthday. Oh, here it is. I got it. Okay. Thank you. This is Katrina. She said something, but she didn't give a birthday. At least I couldn't remember because I got so many birthdays. So you happen to be in, I think, an 11 personal year or a 2. And it simply means that this is a year for enlightenment, elevation, taking things to the next level, looking at outsets. The cycle that you're in, regardless whether it's a 2 or an 11, tells me one thing. It's a transitional cycle. Transitions with relationships, transition in the workplace and transitions in the home, moving things around, whatever the case is. The workplace, new supervisor, director, changing the diet. But it means be patient. And 9 is not known to be the most patient number on the planet. 9 is ruled by fire. They are go-getters. They are impulsive. They are proactive. They get what I call fired up. So, but this year says you can't use that strategy. And in fact, you in the cycle that I says is the Delilah factor, which is Delilah was all sweet and seductive, and Samson was all big with himself and whatnot, and she seduced him. So be seductive, be sweet. That's all. That's why they say you can catch more bees with honey. So think of yourself as a honeybee, and you just trying to, handle your business and get some things done. All right. This is Waking Up. Your birthday is June the 12th. Thank you very much for the donation, and thank you for doing this. You want to start a consultant business to be on a spiritual life path. Well, this particular year, you happen to be in a 9 personal year. What is it? Interesting is I took the month and day you're born, June the 12th, added it to this year. So 9 has the only 2 numbers found on the spiritual or intuitive planes are 7s and 9s, and that's the year you happen to be in. So if you do want to have a business of a spiritual nature, that would be about right. And don't forget, 3 represents the trilogy: the Father, the Son. The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit in that sense. The Mother, the Father, the Child, the past, the present, the future. So 3 has that kind of like, and 3 governs religion too. So it's very important. So in that spiritual work, you would be very well for that. I would say, looking at your cycles, I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't start around your birthday and is developing more. And then there's one of our sponsors that you can always reach out for a complimentary consultation if you want to start a business where you don't have to invest any dollars up front, but kind of, since it's of a spiritual nature, would be apropos for you to get that. So, but anyway, here's what it is with you. You are an air sign with a fire number, which means very motivational, very proactive, very determined. Since you were born on the 12th, which is called a hangman, just be careful of taking advantage of people trying to use you. The fact that we're going into Mercury retrograde in about another couple of days on the 17th just says use a more cautionary approach with people. Don't rush into things, because 3s, like 9s, can somewhat be impulsive and they just jump right into it. This would not be the best time for you. But your numbers are always the 3, the 6, and the 5, and your best day is always on a Thursday first, a Friday second, and a Wednesday. Now it seems all kind of discombobulated, but that's how yours work. Thursday's always first, Friday's always second, Wednesday's always third for interviews, setting up appointments, or anything else you want to do. All righty. Let me see. I'm spilling over. Let me see. I'm just going to go to make sure that anybody, if I donate it. Okay. Katrina said, this is your great grandson. Katrina, what I'm going to do is I'm going to deal with that on Monday. I promise. I'm going to make notes. I do this. Okay. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody that may have made a donation, like Roycer Gibbs. Okay. Thank you very much. I don't know whether you gave your birthday yet. If you did, right now I don't see it, but if you did, I'll make sure I honor it on Monday. Oh, he did. January 17th. This is the 3rd January 17th I've been here. What's the day? Today is the 9th. It's if I'm not mistaken, I think it's it's a 7 universal day. It's an 8 universal day. What the heck did I say it was? Hold on a second. Yes, a 7 universal day. Tomorrow's an 8 universal day. So for all you 8 persons out there, let me see something. Let me get this off a second. So for all you 8 persons out there, tomorrow's your day. With you too, sir, would be very mature. It tells me you were out on your own as a young man, without question. And it also tells me, too, that your key numbers are the 8, 6, and 3 in that order. So you've always been very mature, very determined. And as you got older, Because normally with 8 people, their lives start turning around between their 33rd and 35th birthday. I notice, and notice 35 adds up to an 8. But you should be very successful. This is your year where it is to fulfill your dreams and go after the things you want to. But again, your key or important numbers are always, without exceptions, Royston. Yes, I said it right. Royston are, and you even born in 1980, which tells me you were conceived somewhere around December of 1979, which is also none of my business, I guess. Anyway, no. If you conceived in January, February, March, April, you conceived in April of 1979 in the year of the 8. So one of your parents too could have also been a Capricorn or an Aquarius or Libra, or born on the 8th, 17th, or 26th of the month. But anyway, this is a year to fulfill your dreams. So focus on that. All righty. Okay. Let's see something. Thanks for the donation too. Okay, she said, I meant to say business is not doing well, wondering why. Well, as I explained, that this time of the year is challenging to a number 8, because 8 rules Capricorn, and challenging to the sign of Capricorn. So all of you, this January 17th, have a kind of like a double punch, to the gut, so to speak, okay? So try not to let it get you. So instead, if you got to do something, focus on your better days, which is always in this case on Saturday, Friday, and Thursday. Okay. I'm going to take about 2 more calls and I'm going to get off here so my moderator don't talk bad about me. Let me Strayhorn. Thanks for the knowledge you share. Whatever you want. Your birthday is January the 4th. Okay. So this year you are in an enlightened period. You're in an 11 master number year. So this is a year to begin more conscious of what you eat, how you eat, when you eat. This is a year that's good for forming relationships for the better. If there's some that's been on the outs, try to mend those fences if possible. If they're not mendable or bendable, then you just move on to something else. And this is a year where you take your time, focus on the details, but when you do, you'll find that you do better. And you are a earth sign with an air number, a water sign with an air number, which kind of seems kind of contradictory, which means that deals with your emotions, your intuitive side, and yet the air deals with the more logical, practical side of your nature too. All right. Oh, by the way, your key numbers are the 4, 1, 2, and 7. The 4, 1, 2, and 7 in your best days are always on a Sunday and a Monday, and then a minor way a Wednesday. So this is Darius Sturderman. Thank you so much for the donation, buddy. Much appreciated. And it's another person that was born on the 18th, which I read. That's Katrina. I hope they got that. Let me see something. This is Divine Kasi 824. So you're a Virgo 6 person. So you're Earth sign with an Earth number, born in the Earth year, because your numbers are 8, 6, and 8. When I say 8, she's born in 1970, which adds a 17, and 1 plus 7 is 8. So that means throughout your whole life, you're going to be pragmatic. Throughout your whole life, you should do something that's very closely related to the earth. I noticed that 8s and 6s have one thing in common. If they can, they always want to own a home, to plant gardens, to almost put their hands into the dirt, because your earth sign with an earth number. It almost makes you feel at home. And they found those who walk around in the grass or hug trees tend to do. Right now they got us into these plastic made shoes and whatever, and so we're not touching the earth as much as we want to. So that's why when they say you are grounded, you mean that in every sense of the word. And so this year you happen to be in a 5-person year, which is dramatically changed. It governs your sign of Virgo. And since Mercury is going retrograde and it deals with Virgo, just be a little bit more mindful of how you do things, okay? All righty. Your key numbers, by the way, are the 6, 5, and 9. Those are your numbers. I'm going to do 2 more, and then I'm going to let it be. Okay. And I hope I thank you for the donation, by the way. Please. I'm slipping, okay? Every now and then. All righty. This person says the birthday is July 13th, which is happy belated birthday. No, what's today? Oh, that's coming up. excuse me, I got a little ahead of myself. I ended a relationship this year. My ex-partner is 9/11. I believe we were both in a two personal year. Well, you happen to be in a two personal year. He happens to be in a two personal year. So you're absolutely correct. Now, here's what that means. Two is one of those, I call it transitional cycles where things appear to be if you're up in the air. Okay. And so two is more challenging to your mate. So he's the one that's having more problems because the reason why this year, 2025, is the year of the nine. All right. The major opposition number to the nine is the two. That is anyone born on the 2nd, the 11th, the 20th, or the 29th of the month. So doing that, I would say whatever the breakup was, he's under some duress right now. And not only that, he is in a 9 personal month for July. So I would say all this took place within the last probably about 2.5 to 3 weeks, I would say, which is none of my business. But you're in a whole different ball frame. And see, two is when you're interchangeable ones because it governs Cancer. So he appealed to your Cancer side, but through no fault of his own, he's challenging. As to the lady that's born on August the 24th, she says that she's doing that right now. She just purchased a ranch and 3 acres and have started gardening. See, that's what I'm saying. It almost appears if I know the person I'm talking to. No, I've mastered after all these decades the nature of a number. And if you are, and all of us are numbers. That's why they tell you don't give out your social number, your PIN numbers, or whatever else they got going on. There's a reason for it. So thanks for the confirmation, all right? Empress Rose says, y'all don't follow directions. I'm telling you, she don't play, okay? If y'all follow directions, she said the list is closed. So I guess that's it. That's my time. But anyway, I want to thank every single one of you. I think there might have been one person that I missed. Yes, I'm going to go this. This is Killer Kel, born on August 3rd. Fire sign with a 5 number. Passionate. You're in an 11 personal year this year, which means this is your year to elevate yourself to the highest level, Marco, and not take wooden nickels and do the best you can, be the best you can be. But what it tells me is your time is due around late September, October of this year, when you start moving into your 3 personal year. So the year's going to do 2 things for you. 2026 is going to favor the sign of Leo, Aquarius, and Aries, and you're Leo coming out the gate. And at the same time, you will be in a 3 personal year. So in your case, if you can reflect on what happened in 2017 and 2008, that year will come, except I pray you at a whole nother level of sophistication, life's experiences, and understandings, okay? And you were born at 11:02 p.m. So that means you were in the, so that means your sun was sitting in the 4th house, okay? The house of Cancer. So that means a nurturing kind of guy too. You don't take no jokes, but you got a nurturing disposition. So that's it, everybody. I've got to say thank you. We wrap this up. And before I do want to acknowledge all of my sponsors again. Oh, by the way, you know what? I keep forgetting. Hold up. You know, I got to learn how to plug myself more often. So this is it here. Okay. So for those of you, I'm an astronumerologist. My website is LLoyd-Strayhorn.com, or you can go to Linktree/numbers-NU. I have a *8. That's my mobile app that you can download in your Android or Apple phone. Okay. And I did put the Linktree. I have online courses and free monthly newsletters. The monthly newsletters are just that, free, no strings attached. The only advertisement you will see is either through Miss Kimberly or myself. That's because we do the joint with promoting it on a video type of version. That's it. I do have a Facebook and an Instagram on Numbers and You. My Cash App is $Numbers and You. I keep forgetting. And don't think I don't want to promote myself. It's just, I guess, forget. Okay. So here you go. Anyway, as for my sponsors, again, I do want to thank Corey and Vanessa Bent, who invited me to London on the 23rd. I do want to thank also Queen Bee for Numbers Matter on Numerologics. She does an excellent show, and she is also making available her summer sale, okay, $50. That's all you get. If I told you the price of what you really have to pay, y'all have to pay a lot. But because she's sponsoring the show and whatnot, she's giving y'all a deep discount. So take advantage of the deep discount and just go there. And therefore, also King Simon, that's my brother. He is now in the part 2 of July of his The Anatomy of Numerovation. So take advantage by joining at patreon.com/numbers and you. Monique, one of my favorite ladies on the planet, December the 9th. She has a store in Brooklyn for years. It's Classic Act, and it's at 1396 Fulton Street. And she is having a very special event this particular Saturday. Okay, it's about status correction, tribal genealogy, immigrations, equity, jurisprudence, and discharging debts, and a whole lot more. And so meet this very distinguished brother right there. And it starts at 7 p.m. And also my good brother Uchenna, his book will be out in a couple of days where you can get it on Amazon. His ebook version before the book come out will be on sale for 99 cents. Take advantage of that. Also, Jazz Aphrodite, who is developing a numerology institute. She'll be on a week from today talking about it, what it can be. Also, Miss Kimberly, Manifest on Purpose. And by the way, for that person that's starting a spiritual coaching thing, if you want to know, just go to her astronumerology business section. Just go to Kimberly, KIMBALEY.com and schedule an appointment. It's absolutely, it's a complimentary consultation. For those of you, my July newsletter is out. It is free. It is available. For those of you who want to hear the version of what I do, we've got close to 5,000 views already. It's just only been out a couple of days. So you have a choice of reading it. When you sign up for the newsletter, you see it at the bottom of each of your signs will be a link that send you right here. So you don't even have to look it up. Just click on the link at the bottom, but it's absolutely free. No, we do not sell your list. We don't sell your name. I don't do that. Now, at the end of this month, July, I will be teaching another palmistry course, one of the subjects I really, really enjoy. And then at the end of August, I will be giving a 5-week certification of learning the art of numerology as a career. So I'll be telling you more about that. And but in the meantime, for those of you who want to know the art of palmistry, just click on the QR code and you will have the information that you need about signing up. Things are broken into small payments, increments, and stuff like that. Very, very affordable. All righty. So again, I thank you. And on Monday, this will be my guest who could not make it. His name is Cameron. And he's a beautiful brother. He's always at Nicholas, Brooklyn. So you can always see him out there. All right. Everybody, I want you to have a great, great day, a great weekend. Take good care of yourselves. If I didn't answer anybody, if you made a last minute donation, I'll check and make sure that on Monday I acknowledge it. All righty. So everybody, I want to thank you very, very much. And all of you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.